welcome to another edition of That's 30 podcast show with Bill Byham and John Green. I'm John Green.
And I'm Bill Byham. Welcome to our podcast show for today.
Hi Bill, how you doing? It's been a while since we've done this, huh?
John, it's been too long actually. I've really missed these gatherings here at Wegmans and sitting down just talking sports. And you know, I know both of us are fighting around with a couple of issues, but hopefully we can get this thing started again.
That's right. You've probably seen that Wing Sport Online's a little different. It's really That's 30, and it's more sports, isn't it?
Well, that's the only thing I know anymore.
And this famous line that we got is, Bill, you for a number of years have ended your articles and I guess your radio with That's 30.
Yeah, well, for a long time. And it's funny, I ran into somebody the other day and said, "You got that from Bill Stern, didn't you? An old radio newspaper guy." I said, "Yes, I did." And so that's where it came. It means the end of that particular article or that particular show.
Well, really, this means the beginning for a new type of show. We're going to stay away from politics and stuff like that, and just talk mainly sports. So, what can the people that are tuning in here? What can they look for as we go through the months that we know we're going to be doing this?
Well, John, there's so many things, and you well know a lot of them yourself. And in fact, for example, you just take right now, we have the District 12 Little League softball things going on, and it won't be long before we'll have champions from District 12. They'll move on to sectionals against another district, and we would like to see at least 5 or 6 teams from District 12 advance through the sectionals, and then go on to the states. And then maybe somebody will go to the regionals, and who knows, they may come back into the World Series play sometime later. So that's all in the development stage right now. All 2.3 million kids are playing softball, baseball under the Little League banner across the world. And, 16 teams are going to show up here in Williamsport starting on August the 17th for the Little League World Series 2007. 32 games of Little League baseball. It always thrills me.
I do remember that weekend that they come is when Lycoming College football gets going. I think they have a press day right on that first Saturday when Little League starts, don't they?
That's right. Lycoming College football. I am really lifted. The conversations I've had with Frank Girardi, Steve Weiser, and these people are just so excited about the fact that they feel that their recruiting class, close to 50 young men from all over. I'm going to say from across the state, but they're from other states as well. They're really excited. They feel it's the best recruiting class they've had in years. And so, well, it better be, because they've got a tough schedule. You open up
that first game is tough.
You open up with Ithaca, a nationally ranked team every year in Division III.
That's a home game?
That's a home game, yeah. And then they have to go away for a couple of games, and one of them will be the annual clash with Susquehanna. And it's sort of an interesting thing that Susquehanna is no longer a member of the MAC, and same thing with Juniata and same thing with Moravian. So we got a lot of new stuff going on in that small college Division III football conference that we've known for so many years, and sort of like putting on a pair of gloves, wasn't it? Old gloves, just everything fit. You got up and you went to work, and now they got different components, so to speak, of what they're going to do in football. But anyhow, they're excited. Penn College, Williamsport, or the Pennsylvania College of Technology sports program last year, under Mike Stanzione as the athletic director, just had a fantastic year. There were just so many championships won. Now they've sort of settled in now as a there's only, about instead of having about 5 different leagues and 5 different conferences that they were playing in and everything, they are just settled into one. And so those are the championship things that they're going after. But they had a great year last year, so we'll be watching very carefully those people. Of course, we can't forget, right now we got to finish up a very exciting baseball season.
Right.
The Cutters are, right now, at this moment, as we're doing this on Wednesday morning, they're tied for first in their Pinckney division with Auburn. They both have 13-8 records. And it was interesting because State College Spikes got rained out the other night, so they're a half a game out, so to speak. But they're 12-8.
So that Pittsburgh franchise came up a notch from last year.
Yes, they have sent the Spikes some ball players. Yeah.
Well, it is a lot of fun to see how that rivalry between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia will go, the Spikes and the Crosscutters.
But and I don't know whether we're doing what you want to do today, but the fact of that, I'm disappointed in the fact of that the Phillies, of course, are now functioning as the boss, of the players, and I'm just, Pittsburgh used to send a core of players to Williamsport, and they more or less stayed the season. Philadelphia, I don't think, is going to be of that same mode. They get a kid in here, and he maybe works 5 innings. They say, "Oh man, he deserves to go up." That hasn't. But there have been more transactions with this Philadelphia thing from Williamsport Shore Day down to Lakeland, New Jersey, where they have the blue clause, and there's been more action than I think we maybe saw 5 weeks of Pittsburgh. And here we are, like in 3 or 4 weeks of the Phillies. So I don't know. The ball club under Greg Pegg has some really nice ball players, but how long they're going to stay is always the question.
I know we have some other things. We'll probably be interviewing some coaches and some sports figures in the county, as we did before.
Yes, I really feel that we can really reach some people. I want to talk to Chet Schumann again, the golf coach at Penn College, for example. I'm thrilled to sit in the same room with the guy who has his team right now has a record of 130-0.
That's pretty good in his league. It could be up over 130.
Yeah.
And maybe you out there have a person or a subject you'd like us to talk about. You'll see on the right-hand side there's a call button. Give us a call. If we're not available, it'll leave voicemail. Let us know what you think about the show, and also tell us who you think would like to be on. And if you'd like to be on, give us a call. Or send us email. You have a button there that'll send us email. Or talk to Bill when you see him, or myself.
Oh, that's a great idea, and that's one way we can build the program and build the audience.
Okay.
If you know anybody would like to throw $1 or $2 our way,
just write that check out to Mr. Bill Byham, and we'll make sure it gets to the right spot. You know his address over there in South Williamsport. It does cost money to run a website and do podcasts, but we're not complaining, are we, Bill?
No, I'm not complaining at all, John.
It's a labor of love.
That's right.
Now, we got football, we have baseball, and how about what are you looking for through the winter months and towards next year? Everything going well,
Well, I don't know if you're following it or not, John, but all the high schools in the area are into their last year of the conferences in which they play. They're gonna have this new conference. It's 25 teams called the Heartland Conference. Now I think the Northern Tier League is going to stay intact or something of that nature. But these schools are going to be set up against opponents supposedly their own size, that kind of stuff. That will make a major change in the appearance of what teams are going to play. For example, South Williamsport, always is connected to Montoursville and Loyalsock Township. No, Under the Heartland Conference, they won't be involved there. They're not involved with Montoursville now, but they won't even play Loyalsock. And I have to think about that a little bit. But that's a new Heartland Conference. And as we've already alluded to, is the fact that the MAC, the Middle Atlantic Conference, is just changing all kinds of things. And there's going to be a MAC football conference, and then there's going to be a conference set up for the non-football schools, so that they can compete in soccer and those kind of things. So anyhow, there's a lot of change coming, and I want to be right there with it.
Okay, so we're excited about kicking this off again. It's been 7 or 8 months. Tomorrow we know we could have another podcast. So yes. You'll be listening to this, and I don't know if you want to share anything about what tomorrow might bring, but we do have a guest we're going to have tomorrow.
A gentleman by the name of Gary Yeagle, who is a former winning sporter, actually played back in the Carl Stotts days, played his baseball back in the Carl Stotts days, and then the family moved over to South Winning Sport, about 2 blocks away from the village that I call it, the Alameda Stadium, Volunteer Stadium. In the process, Gary moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and is now retired from his job down there. What he's gone into is becoming a writer and a creator and a publisher and a director, you name it. And he wrote a book about that Louisville Little League team that was here in 2001 or 2002, I can't remember the year, and it has sold pretty well. In fact, it's in the stores here even now. And now he's going to make a movie of that same book. And so he's going to be here tomorrow, right here in Wegmans at 8:30 tomorrow morning. And we're going to talk about what's going to happen here with the movie and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited to get back in the seat here. And we'll see how it goes. And thanks for listening to us. Keep checking back to WinSportOnline.com for Bill Byham's That's 30. Anything in closing, Bill?
No, except that it is on this program, John. I'm happy to be here, and yeah, it is 30.